was, and I agree with this person, was why is it that Roll It Over, which was such a great song, why was that kept from being on Layla?
Duane Allman showed up.
That was the reason why?
Yeah, we had more than enough songs to do the album, but when he showed up, we had to keep it simple, so we could get on with it. Because we only had a certain amount of time booked in there. We only had
When you say you had to keep it simple, why suddenly did you have to keep it so simple?
Well, familiar. He was playing the blues and stuff.
So he could not.
So the first time that we played together was lending itself more to what he was accustomed to playing than the sophisticated stuff that we played.
You were actually working around Duane Allman to be able to get stuff done.
But yeah, Key to the Highway and
Have you ever loved a woman?
First showed up, it was like, Key to the Highway and a couple others, but they were just straight blues, that really is, you didn't have, because see, we'd already worked our things out, the Dominoes had already worked out everything, Roll It Over, all these songs, What Is Love, everything that we had, and then some, Tender Love and some other things that, we had more than enough songs for an album.
Right.
And then I come up with, Keep On Growing. So it really worked. If you listen to the first three songs, that was Eric and Carl and Jim and myself. And that was it, the first three songs. And then Duane showed up, and what was the first thing that he did? Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out. That was the first thing. And then Key to the Highway, Have You Ever Loved a Woman? See, those were things that we did that were real simple, but that also tightened him up with us, you see. Because, we were doing like, I Looked Away,
Well, I was going to ask, did he actually try to play any of those other songs?
No, the only songs he played on was the ones that he's on, but then it made it right to where he got more as a member in a musical sense. So where we played "I Am Yours,"
Right.
Beautiful, real tasty stuff.
What I'm saying is that he probably was slightly nervous about doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
Wanted to be there, wanted to play, but just trying to get yourself into the whole situation.
Yeah.
Graduating into
Well, see, it was working both ends of the thing. It was that way for him. It was also that way for us because we wanted to be accommodating to him.
Sure.
We wouldn't have like suddenly jammed with "Tell the Truth," or "Why Does Love Got to Be So Sad?" Hey, you want to come and let's jam, and then lay on "Tell the Truth," something really complicated but sophisticated. No, that's not it. We have to do some standards that everybody's already familiar with.
So
that would be everybody but me, because I didn't sit around and listen to blues records.
That is the reason why those songs made it to the record in the first place.
Yeah, that's the only reason they made it.
That's really quite amazing. So you worked around Duane Allman.
Yeah.
Okay, not because you had a lack of material.
No, hell no.
You had more than
plenty. We had plenty of material.
So this is why "Roll It Over" was not on there, which is such a shame.
Yeah.
And and "Tell the Truth" was supposed to be it was the first single.
Yeah.
That's another shame but that's just the way it worked out.
Yeah, that's the way things were. We envisioned ourselves a certain way, and it wasn't with the wall of sound.
Well, did anybody object to this going in that direction when Duane showed up because you already were doing something else?
No, we didn't sit around and powwow. We just did it. Nobody, what do you think about this, or what do you think about that, or what should we do? No, it just happened.
Right.
Key to the Highway. Tom Dowd, the whole thing was to keep the tapes rolling at all time. That was my idea.
Which you got from George, right?
Yeah. I said, I don't care if it's just one person walks in, roll the tape and record it, and so all of these, that's why we had all the outtakes and masters and all that stuff. because I thought it was all important, and all it was tape. You know, they're used to doing, okay, fellas, you know, that kind of thing. Let's roll them. You know, you guys ready? And they've been playing for hours, you know. No, what we did, we just had, like when Eric showed up, they started the tape. They started at the 2-inch tape. And if I came in, that, you know, when whatever we were doing, talking or whatever.
How many tapes do you imagine you may have gone through? In the end, how many tapes did you have? There must have been a whole load of them.
I don't know. That wasn't my department. But they had every time somebody came in, they rolled the tape. The only time it didn't happen was when Tom Dowd went to the toilet and we started playing Key to the Highway. And he heard us playing Key to the Highway, and he came running out, pulling up his pants, running down the hall saying, push up the faders, push up the faders. And that's why you hear it fade into. That's why you hear it fading into it. He's screaming, he's running up the hall from the toilet with his pants halfway off. Yeah. No, they should have had them rolling at all times, you know, because that's what we did. We just started playing, you know.
Only a fool wouldn't have had the tape running all the time, really, honestly.
You know, yeah, it seemed like something
so
really...
that was a good idea, good thought on your part.
Yeah, it's just tape.
No one else thought about it, did they?
No,
and now, you know, now you have all these other outtakes that they did release on the new 50th. Yeah. So someone also asked if you would, you know, go through the photographs on the inside sleeve and explain, if you can turn it around.
Oh.
Explain some of what's going on these. You took all of these shots?
I took the ones that I'm not in, and that's pretty much most of them. That's Bruce McCaskill right there. He was our road manager. And that's Carl acting like he's kind of knocked out, you know, but it's not. It's just joking. Same thing down here, you know. I told him, I said, this one is going to be a mistake because they're going to think that's the way we were the whole time. That ain't right, you know.
He was joking around.
Yeah, we were joking around and having fun. I mean, you can see that we were. And I took that. That's probably the first selfie, rock and roll selfie. I took that one with one of those cameras.
So what's with Eric and the pipe and the hat over there?
Yeah.
And the helmet. Eric with the pipe just above.
Oh, yeah, that's Tom Dowd's pipe and one of those boys' motorcycle. There's Tom Dowd right there. You know, and that's one of the Albert brothers. I think that was Ronnie. There was Howie and Ronnie Albert. That's one of the Albert brothers. They became quite famous producing Bee Gees. So did Albie Gluten.
The guitar that Eric's got there, and
that one he bought just to play on Thorntree.
Really?
Yeah.
What
and the outro of Layla.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it. I really don't know.
The shirt that Duane is wearing, of course.
That's the one that Eric, he bought it for himself, and he said he's going to give it to Duane. I really wanted that shirt bad, but anyway, he gave it to Duane. When Duane died, they cut it up like it was a robe or something.
Okay, so explain
those are my boots. And,
yeah, you know.
Now, Robin Turner actually took that shot. And there's only one photo of him.
Is that Eric on drums for real?
Yeah, playing. There he is on drums as well.
That's good. So, and you took all those, yeah?
Yeah. So, see, now Robin took these. He took that one, and Robin took that one. I took that one because we were at the motel.
Eric with the cracker?
Eating a cracker. You know, I mean, everybody eats crackers.
With butter on it.
And,
that's my favorite.
There was another little fella there. I can't remember his name, but he had a Mickey Mouse T-shirt on. And there's Kay Poorboy. Right
Kay.
there.
We remember you, Kay.
Yeah, there's Kay Poorboy right there. You know.
She was the only woman allowed on the...
Yep, the only one. Now there's Robin Turner. He took all the photos like that I'm in.
Okay, I never noticed Mickey Mouse before.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse.
What's the Mickey Mouse thing?
Well, I don't know about that. That
I never even noticed that before.
Duane, he's scoring. Not snoring, but scoring.
Uh-oh. And hang on. What the record? Is that the only record that? What is
that?
That
was James Brown. That's the only gold record in the whole place, and it was James Brown record. And I'm walking right past it in those yellow landlubbers, the bell-bottom blues pants.
Right.
But yeah, it was a great time was had by all. Now we partied down. Don't get me wrong, you know. And this one, they sent a guy from New York City to do this, take a picture of Eric's cheerleader shoes. All right.
Aww.
He actually wore those on the Johnny Cash show.
They were real hip then. I wanted a pair of those.
They were hip. He had the stacked heels and stuff. Yeah, he was a real, and still is a stylish guy. You know,
cool
great
shoes.
clothes.
They were called saddle shoes, by the way.
Anyway, you wouldn't catch me dead in them. And no, hell no.
But the girls all loved
them. Yeah, girls love them. But anyway,
where'd you get
we dumped all these dominoes. We just dumped the dominoes down. I helped set that shot up.
Where did you get the dominoes?
Bruce had them, or Robin had them. Somebody had them, and I helped set this shot up. And but when I did it, I dumped a bunch of a whole thing of cigarette ashes, and some of them were left there. Boy, they were real upset because when I did it, I dumped it right in the middle of the guitar and everything. You know?
Sounds about you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they got all bent out of shape, but that's all right.
So, I mean, it was your idea as well for the other assorted love songs. You got the Layla from...
Yeah. Eric said we were in his room and we're listening to the whole thing. He said, "What do you think we ought to call this thing?" He said, "I want to call it Layla." I said, "That's good." And
that's great.
Didn't want to put any name on the front of it or anything. He said, "Well, I just want to call it, Layla." And I was sitting there eating out of a box of all sorts, chocolate all sorts, Cadbury's chocolate all sorts. I said, "What about another assorted love songs?"
God.
And he said, "Perfect." Layla and other assorted love songs. And I'm looking at other assorted chocolate.
What a great title.
Yeah.
What a great title.
It all worked out really, really beautifully.
Well, were you, you probably weren't, but just a question, but were you kind of upset that, not upset, maybe upset that Roll It Over wasn't on there?
No, I was happy everything was on it, especially Thorn Tree in the Garden. That was a last minute call with Eric. I mean, we had finished the thing. We had done the piano coda. This is when we went back the second time, to do just the coda.
Right.
And we had done the coda, and then they got the running order right, and then Eric was in there with Tom talking. I do not know about what, but he came back out and he said, "Hey, Bobby, we got room for one more song on here." He said, "Why don't we do Thorn Tree in the Garden?" Wow. I said, "Perfect. Yeah, I'd love that."
What a surprise.
Yeah.
And so beautifully done as well.
Yeah.
It would never have sounded the same without Duane on that one. And
so the setup, we did it with one microphone.
Oh, God, here we go.
All right.
I know it was one microphone.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of people that say that can't be so, but it was so.
It was done with one mic, and Tom Dowd only came back out one time and adjusted the mic and moved it about an inch. And because he had us, before we even started, he had us, playing our instruments and had me with my voice where we were and everything. "Can you move just a little bit to your left, Bobby?"
Sure.
This kind of thing like that. And then, Duane, back up just a little, that whole thing like that. And
you got to get the blend. So what he was doing was he was getting the blend when he was listening to you and moving it around. And this is what you do when you have singers. You do the same thing. Yeah. You move people around to get the right blend.
Yeah.
So one person can be right up on that mic and others can be way back, depending on the volume.
Perfect stereo recording. It's a historically documented story, in fact. You know?
Right.
And there's a lot of people say, no, it had to have two. No, it didn't have to. It had to have somebody that had an understanding and knew the concept of what a microphone entailed, what its capacity was, and where things worked from it. And Tom Dowd was one of those minds.
Right.
You know, he was one of those great minds. He knew. He
had a mathematical mind, and that would work well for him.
Yeah.
When it comes to the microphone, of course.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah, but I'm glad that whoever.
So really, I mean, the Layla record was completely altered when Duane came in because you started to cater towards.
Yeah, just him. Catering toward Duane.
Right.
And then we used him on like I Am Yours and the other things. So
another great song.
It really worked out perfect, It was all give and take,
Right. Sounds like
that was it,
Everybody was working together well.
Yeah, well, I had the opportunity to write, Keep On Growing, and then Eric will have Thorn Tree on there. So it's like those are my songs, and they're part of me, and so that those particular two songs are the ones that are outstanding for me, even though I wrote Tell the Truth and What Is Love and I'll Look Away on Any Day and I'm Yours with Eric, or not I'm Yours, with Eric. It's just, and Bell Bottom Blues, thank you, you see. Those particular songs really stand out and were real close to me. Thorn Tree in the Garden and Keep On Growing. Because I was a young guy, and I definitely did go astray. And I'm paying for it, these days. I'm 74. And I'm kind of like, I read this thing on...
You're 73.
73, yeah, that's it. I read this thing with Dick Van Dyke a while ago, and he's like 95, and he said, if I'd have known I was going to live this long, I'd have took better care of myself, I understand what he was saying. But, I didn't, do anything that was surprising to me. I mean, hell, I come from Cottonfield, and then I'm walking with rock and roll royalty, and my family on both sides, they were hard people,
I did want to mention too, and I'm surprised no one caught on to it when I said, "Oh, you guys were doing Easy Now with the Dominoes." I didn't know. Of course, you were doing it. It was written when he did the.
Eric's solo record.
The solo record. I don't know where my head was at the time. Just
every time you say Easy Now, and I can hear Dave and Dave Mason and Eric in my voice, just as plain as day. Yeah.
What a great song. Anyway, all right. Well, thanks for that.
That was a lot of fun. I'm glad that whoever it was asked about it, and it was a lot of fun reminiscing and running through a couple of these things, and I'm sure there are other stories. 2 people, 2
questions, actually.
Huh?
2 people, 2 questions, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. That was good right there. That's a good shot.
Yeah, we have a 8x10 of that one.
Yeah.
Get your finger
Sitting on the refrigerator.
Finger off of there.
There's a thorn tree in the garden, if you know just what I mean. And I hate to hurt your feelings, but it's not the way it seems, 'cause I miss her. She's the only girl I've cared for, the only one I've known, and no one ever shared more love than we alone, and I miss her. But it all seems so strange, you see. She'd never turn her back on me and leave without a last goodbye. And if she winds up walking the streets, loving every other man she meets, who'll be the one to answer why? Lord, I hope it's not me.